again, folks. Long time no see. As you can see, shipping delays have caused me quite a bit of heartburn, so I started taking stuff apart. It happens. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about engines. This one in particular. Now, this engine was a decent engine. Ran fairly well, actually, for its age. But I think it's about time for a clean out and a trip to the machine shop before an acid bath or something. As you can see, if I can get the angle right in there, there is quite the buildup of rust and sludge inside of there. Now, it's not loose. Well, if you scrape it, it will come off. But it's not polluting my, as you can see, it's not polluting my coolant there. Gosh, sorry guys, this is really hard to get these angles here. Anyways, you get the gist of it. So, when I got this engine, or this car, with this engine, I should say, this valve right here was stuck. This guy right here was stuck closed. I couldn't get it to come open, and it was stuck to the degree that the push rod and the camshaft rotation forced the press-in stud up out of the boss there, and then the push rod started smacking the valve cover. So all of that was because of gasoline varnish that was built up inside of there on top of that valve that's inside there. It was just varnished to no end. So I took a bunch of CRC cleaner and, you know, the most potent crap that I could find, and I just soaked it. I soaked it and soaked it and soaked it and let it set in there. Then I sucked it out a little bit, got some of the extra out, and then I started working this guy over with a pry bar, just trying to get it to move and get it to budge, and none of that worked. I ended up pulling the rocker arm off. I pulled the stud out because it was already coming out anyways. And when that happened, a little hairline crack happened right there. So that's just some JB Weld just to hold it together. I always knew that I was going to take these heads back off, so that was just a temporary band-aid. It served its purpose. I don't know for how long it would have held. Now, mind you, it would have probably blown out at any given time, but it worked for the time being. Anyhow, back to my story. What I ended up having to do on this guy was I ended up having to smack, and I do not recommend, I ended up having to smack this valve stem right here with a hammer. And it started going down and going down and going down and going down, and then I'd smack it real hard again and it would pop back up and close. So then I'd go through the process again of tapping it down, tapping it down, tapping it down, smack it real hard again, and it'd pop back up. I did that probably about 15 to 20 times before it was finally free enough to move on its own. And now, I mean, you know, it ran fine. The head worked, it functioned. But these heads also, as you can see in there, just a ton of buildup. And from my understanding, these heads are prone to cracking as well. So, you know, best just to get them out of there. You can see here the lifters. The lifters weren't in too bad a shape. This one here was the one that was in the stuck side, and it had quite a bit of, you can see kind of a little bit of pitting there on the end from where everything was just getting wrecked. You know, whatever. So anyhow, I've got this head off already. I've still got plenty of 90 degree, plenty of 45 degree cross hatching going on in here. So there's still a ton of 45 degree cross hatches in here. You can see them right there. So I'm going to send this block off to a machine shop as soon as I get it stripped down all the way. I'm going to have it cleaned. I'm going to have some camshaft bearings put in, and I'm going to have them just hone those real quick just to just to get some of that glaze off of there. And I think that's all we're going to need to do to this, other than just, you know, gaskets and piston rings, stuff like that, just a standard rebuild kit. So lucky day, we are off and rolling. And I've already purchased the rest of my engine parts to go back on here. Again, waiting on shipping, so that's to be continued, obviously. It's par for the course at this point. But I've got a Edelbrock, nice sweet Edelbrock top end kit that's going on here, aluminum heads, a new intake. I've already got a good carburetor. It's going to go back on there. So comes with a camshaft, timing chain, pretty much all the gaskets that you need. We'll get into that when it comes, and I'll lay it all out on a table or something. We'll check it all out. It's going to be pretty cool. So the next project that I have is to get this head off on this side and just see what kind of shape those pistons are in on this side. And hopefully they're just as good as that driver's side, and we will get away with one here. Oh, and a side note as well, if you guys are ever in the market for some kind of drip catch pan or something like that, just go to your Dollar General or your Walmart and buy these plastic tubs. These are Harbor Freight magnets, the 95-pound magnets. They're obviously not going to hold 95 pounds, but that's what they advertise them as. But those are the strongest ones that I could see at Harbor Freight, just, you know, buzzing through the aisles as quick as I did. Magnet, got your tub here. It's fine. It's not going anywhere. And you saved $40. You're welcome, folks. Anyhow, we will return.